Welcome back. We're here. We're here, and I'm here.
I was listening to an interview with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Because he was on a podcast because he was promoting Isle of Dogs, and I was reminded of like the quirks that he has, and he has like the 1-800 number where it's like you pitch him a movie, and then like he'll listen to them or he screens them or whatever. But that's how you get in contact with Bill Murray. And
wow,
like he's not gonna pick up, but you just leave a message. So that's there. And I think it's more as just like somewhere people can go just because they know him. But I thought it would be funny if like I called him, I left a message. It's like, hey, big fan. Me and my friend, we do a gaming stream, and we don't want you to like we don't need you to appear. We don't want a soundbite from you. All we want is if you could take like your phone or whatever, just hit record, and then go into your bathroom and flush your toilet, and then send that to us. And it'd just be this shitty phone recorded echoey sound of a toilet flushing, and then we wouldn't even tell anybody.
Yeah.
It would just be like, but we'd know that was Bill Murray flushing his toilet.
that would be amazing. Wow.
And they're like, why do you use that shitty toilet soundbite? And I'm like, well, we just really liked it.
Cool. Oh. Thanks, Google. Hey, Biddy, it's good to see you, man. We're now back. I'm going to be more present in the next coming weeks. And I'm excited. I'm already excited because I was thinking about like all the video stuff that I've been wanting to do, and I'll soon have the time to do it, which I don't know. I've never really had. In the last 2 years, I haven't had that time. When I was staying with Kevin and Emily a couple years ago, I actually lived with them for about 8 months before finally moving out, and I had a full-time job and stuff. And I wouldn't make as much content, but I would make something. I would do stuff. And I miss that time. But I want to put more into it because I need to better my editing skills a little more. Doing all these animations lately, I've been like, man, there's so many other things I don't know that I want to know, and I want to learn, and I want to better, and I want to do better, and I want to, make Grandma proud.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to do, man. And I enjoy making Biddy laugh. Is the best part of the stream, or playing with Biddy, is just hearing him laugh at something we're saying.
Biddy, I don't think I've ever said it outright, but you do have just a wonderful laugh that opens up. Like yesterday, it was so gray, and it was all right. I went home and I had dinner with my parents. But it was Garbo outside, and then if I heard your laugh, it would be like God himself was opening a hole in the sky to let sun shine down.
Step aside,
upon
Morgan
me,
Freeman.
and just be like,
John's here now.
It's okay, Michael. Everything's fine.
It's okay, Michael. Everything's fine. Now take your pants off. I mean, what? Anyway, we're gonna play some more of Treasure Adventure World. Let's skip on over. I'm gonna lower the things. Make it sound like we're super professional as I lower the other thing. I'm going to play this time. I haven't played in a little bit. I want to play more Shenmue, but I was getting vibes, Mike, and just let me know if I'm wrong. I was getting vibes that you were not enjoying them.
Actually, no, I was having an all right time. It was what the funny thing about a game like that is it would have been really interesting for me to have played that when it first came out and to not know anything about it, because I think my first playthrough would have been... Here's the thing, if I know a game has time management in it, I'll be anxious throughout the entire game. Alright,
we already heard this. It's saying the same stuff.
Yeah. It's because when I know there's time management, it's not like Persona has that shit where it's like you have a school year to do what you need to do.
You go to school, you take the train. The train's going to take you forever to get to wherever you need to go.
And there's only special days where you can do special things, and that it's like set up. But the thing is, it's like I'm not the kind of person who's remember, you can set those guys on fire to make it last longer.
Oh yeah.
But
well, there's
Spaceman.
Spaceman. But yeah, I like that game a lot because there wasn't like anything like it. There really isn't anything like it.
It is very unique in its execution and in its design. They really
Oh,
you got the mushroom cap.
Got a mushroom cap, or did I? Or did I get that? Was that just a figment of my imagination? I mean, I am able to use invisible blocks in my imagination, which, like, really, people are like, knowledge is power. But what about the about the imagination?
It's like you're trippy, but you stop tripping and you are somewhere where you couldn't have been before. So there's something to that. But
hey, there you are.
Yeah. There's what was it? I'm not the kind of person who's going to play through a game multiple times unless I really, really like it.
Oops.
And I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I've played through, like I've replayed a game.
So what is a game that you've played through multiple times that you're like, you have no problem?
Excluding like roguelikes. So excluding
not something that's like
something
you play through it one time. For most people, it's just like, that's it, I'm done. I probably pick it up years later. But what's a game you're like, I can play this anytime because I like it that much?
Let's see here. There was
Ooh, there we go.
I've played Gone Home a couple of times. I used to try and play that once a year. But then again, it's like, it's funny because like these are short games. Like Gone Home is a short game. 30 Flights of Loving literally takes you 15 minutes. But I'll come back to it and try and get something more out of it and try to learn something from it. But you see like a longer form game that I've played before.
Oh, you can capture the farts?
Oh yeah, that's right, the toot.
Ooh.
Let me look at my Steam library actually.
Oops, I'm failing hard at this. Hold on, get some more gas going here. So your Steam library.
Take a look here.
I'm failing hard.
I played through Subnautica once when they finally released, but when that was in development, I would come back and I'd replay that because I just really enjoyed the world they created. You could technically say I've played Nier Automata a couple of times, but I feel like the way they made that game, it's just
No, come on, no! I was so close, so close. All right,
you've kind of like, it's like, okay, yeah, you played the game a couple of times, but you really, there's one playthrough and it just kind of repeats part of the stories, but Invisible Ink's kind of like a roguelike. I haven't even gotten through a playthrough of Duskers, but I still have 29 hours on it. You got me that game.
Well, I mean, is it a game that you were like, I will play this forever?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, BioShock. I haven't played BioShock in a long time, but that's kind of a game I like coming back to. You know, it's funny because, like I said, I thought there was at least one game that that I would come back and play, and I remember replaying Psychonauts, but not to the extent that I have. And I know Kevin's played like Hyper Light Drifter to death, and he just loves that game. But I played through it, I think maybe twice.
No, you fuck. I was so close.
Yeah,
This is a tough one.
Further I go down, it's like the less time I've played on a lot of these games, which means I haven't been replaying them. Trying to think of any console games that I've come back to. It's funny because I just don't have the patience for it. Like, I'm not going to play, especially like an RPG that takes like 70 hours to get through.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play that. I'll play it once, and then like I'm not gonna play that again. Like, I played through it, and then with a game like Persona,
No, I was so
you
close.
can totally do that.
Yeah, I know. It's getting there. Well, I was gonna say with Persona,
It's like what
once you've done it, you're done.
Well, and that's what irritates me. It's like you don't know until you play it, and then you play it, and then it's like, okay, I put in 60 hours and I didn't know this thing, so now I have to start over again. And like, I get ending.
No, I was so close.
I get ending C, which is like the not good ending, and it's like, oh, if I want to get ending A, I can go. I can go start it over again, and
Biddy's is Uncharted. Series never gets old for me.
Yeah. Uncharted's good. It's like, it's fun, and it's funny, and it's like a
I was holding down,
movie.
you bastard.
But what was I on about?
Actually, I wonder if I can capture the essence. Can I down jump here? No. You cannot down jump here. But you know what I can do? Ugh. I wanted to shoot up. These controls get kind of trippy for me.
Oh, okay. So, like, you play the game and you get through, and it's like, okay, and now you know this thing of what you're supposed to do. And then it's like, in our post-internet world, like, you would discover something, and it's like, oh, cool, here I am. And it's like, I have it now. I figured out this cool thing, and that's fun. But now,
Woo!
like,
Woo!
it's a, you gotta charge up with your, yeah, there you go. Or you could put on your hat. Like here's an example. In Persona 5, if you want to level up quickly, you can do so by like, you play the game, and then on the day where the pollen count is really high, or it's flu season. I think either or, it doesn't matter. Then you go into like the general dungeon, which is like the subway. It's like the collective unconscious of all the people. And you let the Reaper, like the literal Grim Reaper, come get you, because that's a mechanic to keep you from like just grinding entirely in that area, because it's like monsters will keep coming back, but if you spend too much time in an area, the Grim Reaper will come, and normally he'll just kill you. But during flu season, he'll have, or doing a high pollen count, he'll have allergies, and he'll want to die. So he won't do anything, and then after 3 turns, he'll just die, and you get a shit ton of experience. And I don't know if this is a holdover from other Persona games, but it's like, how the fuck is anybody supposed to know that? How are you supposed to figure that out? And then it's like, you play the game, and what are you doing? Are you playing the game 5 times, and you just happen to let the Grim Reaper catch you on a day where it's the flu season, where normally you're just trying to avoid him all the time? Like, that's a Nintendo power shit. Or it's like, if somebody figures that out, like, who was the first person to figure that out? And I was like, oh, he's sick. Like, that makes me mad because it took an unreasonably long amount of time to figure out, and it's not the kind of thing where it's like it's not enjoyable to, like, the first person who figured it out is obsessed with that game.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're trying to say.
And then they share it with everybody else, and then it's like, oh, cool, I can go build up my experience. But that's not fun. Like, if you want them to discover it in the game, make it stumble upon. Like, make it something that you.
But is it an important thing to find?
Is it?
No, that's what I'm asking you. Is it was what you just described important to the game to find?
It is if you want to level up. Like, let's say,
If you want to level up?
well, you can level up by grinding pretty much normally, but if you want to get to max level, like, that's the technique you have to use. You gotta stomp on the Grim Reaper.
But is it necessary to get to max level?
It's not absolutely necessary. Like, you don't have to do that, but it is, like, it makes it a lot easier in a game that's already fairly difficult.
Well,
and it's kind of like the shortcut that's thrown in there. It's like the 4 squares of Final Fantasy.
I can kind of see why they did that, because they don't want to make a shortcut so damn blatantly obvious. They would rather you, like, get frustrated and just deal with the frustration and power through it than give you, like, here's an out that can easily get you to where you need to go. But if you want to know this out, you're going to have to really, really know your shit, or just figure out our cryptic-ass messages. I get that, but I don't...
Well, that's the thing that irritates me, is, like, if you made a game and you intended people to play through it and grind, like, that was part of the gameplay, and it's like that's how you wanted them to play the first time, but then when they play it again, you wanted to give them a way to quickly get through that. What was the purpose of that? Because if the game is about, if you made the game to be about grinding, why are you giving them this easy thing to do? Otherwise, just give it to them. Don't even make it like that kind of cryptic weird part of the game. Just give it to them in the second playthrough. Like, make it like a new game plus or whatever. Because it's like,
maybe.
I look at that and I think it's counterproductive. I think it's like, if you want people to play your game a certain way, you design it that way, and then maybe you're thinking of, like, some way to make it replayable and to get some longevity out of it. But if you build the grind into your game, when they play it again, then I would expect that game to play out the similar way.
Okay.
And so that's what irritates me about it. It's like,
but what game would you play? The question is, what game would you go back to play? And hold on, we're about to go into a fight, obviously, a boss fight.
Oh. Stand back, kid. It is the mother of those little metal monstrosities.
Boop threat vandalized. Level 0. Beep.
She looks dangerous. Maybe we should retreat and get back up. We'll never retreat. I'll teach this metal monster a lesson for invading our home.
I'll teach this metal monster a lesson for invading our home. Ugh.
Jesus Christ.
Dead.
Bladus. How dare you? Now taste my blade, you beast.
She studied the blade, but not very well.
Duh. She's too powerful. Run, kid. Get out of here.
Are you kidding me? Woo! You want to play? Gotta have a clap in there. Oh, look at this. We don't want to get hit by the mushrooms.
Oh, are those the poisony mushrooms?
Woo! Beep. Enemy pattern learned. Beep. Beep. Running attack sequence. What is that?
B.
B. It can't be.
It could be
Shiza
beta.
2?
Beta 2.
No, she's something 2?
It's probably beta 2.
Beta 2?
No.
Maybe I'm just an idiot.
No,
I just said shit 2 in German.
Shiza 2.
I'm a fucking moron. Oh, God.
It's likely it's the
Whoa, bullet hell time.
Jeez.
Here we go. Just a little bit at a time. A little bit. Oh, fuck.
Oh, jeez. It's like the Greek letter B or whatever.
Is that the best you got? Oh,
Hey, kid, don't worry, we're fine. You're doing great. Keep it up. We're stuck back here, but we'll try to find a way to help you.
yeah, okay. I'll just stay here and get... Oh, shit. Nope. Ugh, I was so close. Ugh. Come on. Ooh.
Oh,
What?
weird.
But now it's gone.
That just went all the way over to the left.
What the fuck? How do I get one of those?
I think they're throwing them to you.
Oh, we gotta clear our mind. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah. Throw me some of that sweet goodness. Woo!
There you go.
Nice. My hat's a little bit warm.
Just a little bit of smoke.
Whoop. Alright, this is gonna be tough. Woo!
There you go.
Take that. Robotnik flies out and flies away.
You did it! Way to go, kid. Come visit us again so we can give you a proper warrior's hoorah. Good luck on your travels.
What is he, like Keanu Reeves?
So that's kind of yeah.
That's what I was
I
thinking.
was going for like a
I'm
bullet
gonna
head.
give you this idea. In battle, it's speed.
Excellent.
Excellent, dude. That's the
Whoa.
worst Keanu Reeves I've ever done. I don't think I've ever done a good Keanu Reeves.
Has
Wait.
anyone done a good Keanu Reeves?
Maybe. Wait.
Yeah.
Is this? Oh, yeah. Because I'm just... That's right. Now we get the treasure. And the adventure. All in one world. You found a legendary treasure. Gem of the rapid oxidation.
Oh,
That's how the earth was formed, man.
that's how you make things rust and decay.
Ugh. Just like the earth.
Things that come back to.
But did you say games that you've played multiple times? I could give you one of mine.
Sure.
We played it on stream.
The Breath of Fire.
Breath of Fire.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I know that game very well because I've played it many times. Sometimes I would go like a year without playing it. Sometimes a couple months. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I kind of want to like do the fishing mini game, or I want to do this or that or some other thing. But I've played that game a lot. I'm by no means a master at the game. I know what I want to do in the game. There are people who have played that game, and I know I could say believe it or not, but it's you can believe it. People who played the game way more than me, who are clearly more versed in it.
I
But
wonder what your speed run in that would be.
I would have to look it up. That would be an interesting thing.
Just
but
let you
also,
just make you do a speed run. Blind.
But-
Just-
but here's the thing: like, how long would that would be like a 24-hour speed run?
Funny enough, there are because
Like, what kind of speed run would that be? Like the one where you're like, no, what do you call it? No hacks, no.
no
glitches.
glitchless.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it's like what's weird about it is there are a lot of people who that's what they do. They there will be a long RPG and they will marathon it and they will grind the marathon. And there are people who've done like 100-hour runs before. Like, it's disgusting. That's like, why would you do this to yourself? But It's
I wonder if there's anything up there, and that's why I get this.
it would be it'd be interesting because I think it would take less. It might take less than you'd think.
No, I don't think it would. I don't know about less. That's a tough game to
Let me
like
look it up.
to speedrun. I'm sure there are speedruns of it.
Breath of Fire 3
I would not be surprised.
speedrun.
That was a failed jump. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't think there's even any point in doing any of this. Maybe there's something up here.
So the top ones, any percent comes in at about 8 hours. 100% takes about 14 hours.
Wow.
Yep. So they got it down. They got down to about 8 hours, which is
That's a long ass game.
It's a long day. It's a big grind.
I remember somebody was doing a I want to get through all of the Resident Evil games on the PS1 or just all the Resident Evil titles in sequence, entire stream, and well, he passed out before the stream could do it, but he ended up getting like a ton of people watching him. I could just walk past him. I don't know what I'm jumping. But
is that the one where his viewership went up way high when he fell asleep?
He was passed the fuck out.
It's so I love it when that happens. So it's just like everybody's just watching him sleep. And
yeah, he got up to go to the bathroom or whatever, came back and fell right back to sleep and didn't even realize that people were still watching.
Yeah.
Which
people are weird.
Well, it was like, I think it got posted somewhere on a big forum or something.
It got posted on Reddit, I think.
And people just came in to like...
I remember seeing something about that, but...
that was interesting. I keep messing this up. See, I'm not... There we go. I'm just trying to get up here so I can jump over here. Like that.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool.
You found a mysterious object. You should get it appraised. I just saw that and I was like, all right, I'll go get that done.
Get that done.
Let's see, what other game? So, like Breath of Fire, I played. Final Fantasy IX. I've done that many times. Although that game is so long, I'm like hesitant to pick it up because of the length. It is a very long game.
It's funny because I finished 9 and I don't. What's funny about a lot of the Final Fantasy games is that I forget a ton of shit.
It's because there's a lot going on.
There's
By
a
like
lot,
by the
yeah.
4th disc, you're like, what? Who's this?
What are we doing? And there was a period of time where it's like I was playing, like I was playing Final Fantasy VII with the intent to like go through and finish the game, and I was grinding, and then like I stumbled upon like green weapon or whatever, and then it just kept killing me, and so I got frustrated and stopped playing. And
well, that game has such a like. I was never really a huge fan of Final Fantasy VII. Not because the game was like bad or anything. It's just it never really appealed to me.
Yeah.
The characters in the world were like, I don't know, just wasn't my thing. I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
And so I've played it twice. First time I played it, I was really young, and I never beat it. And then I played it again and beat it, and I was like, oh. That was it. I was like at the end. I was like, I'm done with this.
I really liked Final Fantasy Tactics for the Game Boy Advanced. I played through that, and I don't know if I finished it twice, but I do remember, like I had the strategy guide, and then I mapped out. Like what I wanted was like my favorite character were like these this like bunny race, and it was because you could get them to be.
Whose house is
they could be
this?
assassins. I don't know if everybody could be assassins, but they were the only ones that could be like red mages. So I was like, okay, I'll get all of them to be red mages, and I'll train them in the job that I want, and I'll make sure that they learn all this, and then I'll make them assassins, and then I'll make sure they get like death touch, and I'll have like this ninja unit of the bunny girls essentially.
Yeah, their race is actually in Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah.
As like some of the one character Fran is basically just naked.
Yep.
Just a completely naked character, and that's basically it. That's her entire character. Yeah, maybe she has a backstory that other people are interested in, but they didn't do anything really that interesting. Don't fool yourselves. Don't fucking fool yourselves. I really don't get that shit. Where people are like, no, there's a thing, and I read it in the thing, and I saw it on the thing. Fuck your thing. Whatever thing you read, fuck it.
No, it's
I'm kidding. I'm just being a little facetious.
ProZD did a thing like that where he was like,
It's easy to get lost with Final Fantasy games. Even 14 online can be a bit much. Just when you thought you got through the main storyline, they add more storylines. I love Final Fantasy Tactics. That is exactly right.
Final Fantasy Tactics is really good. Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced is really like Final Fantasy Tactics is just a really good game because their job system was interesting, and it like.
I'm just looking around to see if I forgot anything.
Yeah,
I don't have to be here.
Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced was nice because it had a similar job system, but it was more cartoony, and I was all about that. And I should go. Like I've been toying with the idea of buying Final Fantasy Tactics for like the iPhone or
Yeah, I saw that it was on like iOS.
yeah.
No, that's a game I never really got into. I just, not that it like didn't interest me. It's just like I just never really like. I picked it up, played it for a few minutes, and I was like, I don't really want to do
The
this.
story isn't like I don't remember it being compelling. I remember it being very dry, and it's like
Yeah,
there's royalty, and you're like a disgraced. Like you were part of the royal guard, but you fucked up, and then another part of the royal guard was your best friend, but he kidnapped the princess because what is right and bullshit.
Okay.
And just it was.
It sounds so interesting.
Yeah. but
It
the
sounds
tactics
so
are,
good.
The tactics are cool. Like it's a
I
good
think
tactics
that was probably the main thing. I think from what I've heard other people talk about the game.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing everybody really liked was the tactics. The gameplay itself was solid, and I say the same thing about Final Fantasy 12. Story is just fucking no.
Yeah.
But the gameplay itself, I like.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's everybody else's thing, but I happen to really like Final Fantasy 11's or 12's gameplay because it was what I wanted Final Fantasy 11's gameplay to be. And I know that they improved 11 and they did all this stuff, but at the end of the day, I just got kind of tired of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Got tired of Final Fantasy. It just the 11 gameplay was basically like at the time I was playing it, you had to party up with people in order to level up. Like you had to fight just common monsters together.
Yeah.
Now, that sounds like a great idea in this landscape of MMO RPGs where you don't really have to do that anymore. You can play Final Fantasy 14 solo for the most part until you get to certain dungeons, but then even then it's like fucking go to sleep. And it depends on the dungeon, but you can just fucking whatever. That's not even difficult. And I don't know like what their idea was with 11. I think they were like hoping people would just be friends and get your friends to play with you, and it's like I don't know. Every time I see commercials like that, it's like not to diss my friends, but most of my friends don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about these games.
Well, and that's
And
I look at it and it's like, what friends?
Well, and also like I was gonna say like I have friends, just
Yeah.
none of them would be interested in Final Fantasy
Exactly.
at the time anyway. Michael, are you going to activate my merch? Reactivate my merch.
Reactivate your merch.
Do you know what that means? Do you have it? I don't know. This sounds like a thing. I don't know what this says.
Is this if this was a inside joke that we had? I'm sorry if I forgot it. Reactivate your merch.
Mech.
Mech.
I misread that. I'm sorry.
Reactivate your mech. When did we talk about this? I remember talking about the mechs that the dudes did in our 3D design class. I remember you having a mech. What mech? What game was that you played on? Oh, Into the Breach. Is that what you're thinking? Oh yeah, and then we named you Biddy, and then okay, yeah, Into the Breach. I haven't gone back and messed around with that since.
Get out of here. Get your ass down.
Since it came out, and I was playing it a lot.
Got a new hat. You found a mushroom cap. Expand your mind while restoring health.
Oh.
So I could just wear this.
Oh, you just.
And now I'm in the fucking
Oh, wow.
sky. Look at this shit.
It's crazy forever.
Jesus, it's just a honey badger. He's like, don't worry, man. Up here, I'm
It's
just
all
as
cool.
calm.
It's all.
Unless
cool.
you're a fucking snake. Are you a snake?
You snake? Are you some bees?
I will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Looks like the game is like broken. Hold on, let me just put on a not a drug hat.
No, that's one of my favorite things to do. In fact, I would do that in FTL a lot. I would name all my people, people I knew, and it's really fun because it's like, oh, I'm invested in these people now, and so it's like somebody would die and I'd just get sad and I'd stop playing because.
Look, I stopped learning people's names. I was just like, nah, I don't, like, dude, you're not gonna last. There's gonna be something where I have to sacrifice you. It's best we don't get to know each other.
You can burn that, can't you?
What the yeah, I think Emily already did this.
Oh, okay.
I think. 'Cause I think this was already cleared. Yeah, because this is where she got the torch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see,
All right.
that's where she got this. She already did this
Oh,
area.
okay.
Though.
All right. But I know I'll come back to that just because that's such a good game.
I've been playing it a little bit, and I've really enjoyed it so far.
Last time I played it, I was trying to find, because the music is good, but it's repetitive when it's the same thing you're listening to over and over again. So I started listening to different soundtracks. So last time I played through it, I listened to Pacific Rim, and that was fucking tits. Let me tell you, that was just cool.
Too bad we can't do that on stream. It'll just like block us.
But
Hey, I ain't hating on Twitch, man. That's totally.
they gotta do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I would play XCOM and name my units my brother and friends. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly what I did, and I made all my XCOM units are Power Ranger colors.
In fact, in
And that you know what? Besides that being like just a nerdy thing to do, that was actually really helpful for me to know.
yeah.
The yellow ranger was always the sniper,
Mhm.
and this person was always, and I know the pink ranger's the one with the bow, but sniper was always yellow, and so I knew whoever was yellow, that's their role, and I knew exactly where they were, and I don't know, it was just like aesthetically, it made sense.
I before I started playing XCOM 2, and I should go back to it because it's like something bad will happen, and like I'll lose my steam in a game, and I'll just stop playing it. But when I got XCOM 2 when it was on sale, and like before I even started playing it,
You found a pot hat.
there was a huge amount of mods for it, and a lot of it was for characters. So I found like the best ones, and then if they didn't have a custom character made for it already, I made one, and then I assigned it the voice pack. And I made one for friends, but then I also had Tommy Wiseau, and I had Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and I had both robots from Daft Punk, and
Wow.
and Jason Bourne, and fucking like all these. So it's like I go through and I spent a good amount of time just making these characters to be in the pool of the characters I might get just for fun. So before I even started, I did that, and man, what a blast! It's like you get your characters. It's like, oh fuck yeah, Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson's a sniper.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That alien's brains went everywhere. Wow.
Yeah.
Jason Bourne, you gotta cover me. Wow.
I should have made Chris Tucker my sniper. Cobra man, Cobra man, I got no fire, man. I ain't got no fire. I love Fifth Element. It's like one of my favorite movies.
It's a good film. It's one of those like
Yeah.
it came out of nowhere,
Ow.
right?
You can't hurt me. I'm wearing a hat. It didn't come out of nowhere. I mean, they were planning it for a while. It was just like, I think it was unexpected for a
Like
sci-fi movie to
yeah.
basically, other than Star Wars,
Mhm.
to like hit it that big.
Well, how did Bruce Willis get involved? Because that's interesting.
Well, Bruce Willis he's in the movie business,
All
and
right.
you know he's got an agent, and people just hire him or if they have enough money, and he'll do the movie. And 90s Bruce Willis wasn't as like angry as the current Bruce Willis, who just doesn't like anything or anybody for that matter. He's like done with life. Not done with life. He's done with everybody else. If you are in Bruce Willis's way, he will not have a time.
Well, it's just funny because Gary Oldman does a really good job, and it's like people always talk about it's like the hero and the villain never meet, and like they like I don't even know if they even knew of each other in the film. Maybe they had some sort of idea, but it's like they're just separate.
And it's yeah.
Yeah.
It made for a really interesting movie with interesting character. No, like none of the every character had such character to it.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
There was hardly ever like a character that wasn't interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, gotta break up this band somehow.
Guys, let me up there. I'm gonna break these guys up. I also like being left alone. Get the hint.
Neighbor, it's good to see how you doing. I'm glad to see you 5 minutes 6 play. Oh, they're talking about Crackle Rock. Well, is it night right now?
Yeah.
Right, so you might have to wait until the day
Oh.
to mess around with them because they play every night. I don't know if I have a game that like I'll come back and play, like a decent length game that I'll come back to and play like once a year. It used to be
Lulu
BioShock.
Dallas Multipass. Yep, that was it. Lulu Dallas Multipass. She knows it's a multipass.
Multipass. No, it's like
Nah, I don't want to go there. That's just arcade machines. Yeah, well, I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Because there are people who obsess over a game that doesn't necessarily have a lot of replay value to me, to a point where I don't understand it. And I think, that's fine. Nothing against it. It's just a little bit much for me to have that level of obsession. Like, I really like Elite Dangerous. Like, really enjoy Elite Dangerous. It's a really cool ass game. I don't recommend Elite Dangerous to everybody because it's not a game for everybody.
No, it's very true.
If people asked me what I was playing, I'd explain it, but I'm already like warning them in advance. This is not a game that I can easily suggest that you play.
It's the kind of thing where it's like, are you interested in this thing, but are you also interested in sucking at it for a good 20 hours before you get?
There's a lot of
like,
and that's one thing with Elite Dangerous. They don't talk about. Well, the creators don't really talk about the grind. They're like, oh, that's not a grind, but you know. And there's people who are on different camps, like, oh, you could play the game this way and do this or do that. But there's a lot of people who are like, well, if I don't have this amount of money, the game really doesn't begin for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, how am I supposed to be able to do this thing? This is one of them, I think. Are you a fan of the Fizzy Pixels? If you want an autograph, you have to buy a ticket to our show like everyone else. We play every night, so until then, just be catching up on my sleep.
Have thought about getting a real job?
Nope, not interested in any job that doesn't involve my trumpet, sorry.
So maybe you have to find another... Is it possible that there's another trumpeting position for him somewhere else? Or do you just have to get the one dude to run off and... Well, maybe, is that what happened? It's like the one dude did play the trumpet, but then he went back to his wife?
No.
Or is that something separate?
Something separate.
Right.
I don't know.
I remember talking... You talked to one dude who worked at... Joja Corp or whatever.
I have Elite Dangerous. I'd love to have someone teach me that game. Betty, I would happily teach you and pay you money in the game. Because I've literally, like, Kevin likes it, but I think it's like one of those things where because of the grind, doesn't want to play it very much, and I understand completely.
Well, it's one of those games where it's like the only thing that's like really hard to get used to initially is docking. Because it's a major part of the game, and they don't make it easy. They
don't make any of the game easy.
You can buy an auto docker later, but I mean at that point it's like, okay, I don't want to manually do this anymore. But I've gotten to the point where I can, and it's not terribly hard, and it's funny because you learn about how like the things that they do, like the way they do it. All the big space stations rotate the same direction, so you know which side the opening should be on once you get familiar with it.
Well, and there's a little graphical interface that if you have it locked on, it displays the station in its graphical interface where the entrance is.
And you gotta get used to reading that too. But it's like all these things aren't hard on their own, and they've added more training.
Yeah, because that was a huge problem where people are like, how do I even do this thing? Because it's basically you're flying a low maintenance airplane, and learning how to fly any kind of aircraft is difficult.
Like, and on a keyboard.
Oh, look at this.
Hey.
Fellow travelers, have you met Tony Ward? Trust me, you don't want to. I saw the famous CEO walking down the street one day, and I introduced myself. He gave me a disgusted look and kept on walking. I could swear that for a flash in his eyes turned dark red. Still creeps me out. That is one disturbed, bitter man. Anyway, until I see you again, good luck on your journey. Jack the cat out. Sorry, I had beans. Bean soup.
Bean soup.
They shouldn't feed bean soup to a cat. Jack.
But, what were we on about?
Elite Dangerous being very difficult. You get, I got confused from not playing it regularly. Yeah. I got Horizons on sale and love roaming planets, but I have no idea how to refuel it. Like, there's a...
Yeah, and it's like, and so these... None of these things are, like, inherently difficult. Oh, here we go. Yeah, she's like...
Would you like to buy a gold-plated crown? The regal headwear will make you feel like a king, and it'll keep anyone from touching your head with all those sharp bits and all. Sounds great, right? Should I wrap it up or wear it out? Oh, it's only 500, and I have 666. All right, I want to see what else is on sale first before I make the leap and buy the fucking crown. Because yes, I do want that crown, lady. She read my mind.
Like no one part of Elite Dangerous
Hello,
is
dear. Are you looking to
inherently
purchase some original art?
difficult to do on its own, but it's when you have to link all the things together and you have to get used to it. And the thing about the game is you have to like doing you have to like the grind. Like if you enjoy space trucking, you're gonna like it. But if you don't, you're not gonna like this game. And it's like, yeah, you can go bounty hunting, but that's a grind too. Like you gotta go search for the people and you gotta shoot them down and you have to make sure you're turning them in regularly enough so that you don't just get blasted out of the sky. And it's like
I don't know what she's doing.
there's a very great deal of things and they don't hold your hand. And so by the time you get like 20 hours in and you kind of understand what you're doing, it's very rewarding. Because it's like, okay, and now I'm in space business for myself.
There is so much to the game, and a lot of it is you read on forums or read on a website or something. None of it is, not all of it, but a good chunk of it is not intuitive into the game. And I think it was an intentional design to get people to like communicate.
Have you gone into Joja Corp during the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through, oh, you mean in Globocorp?
Oh yeah, Globo Corp. Was it Joja Mart and Globo Corp? I thought one of the people who works here was in the band.
Maybe it might be one of these guys. I think it might be him. Unless Rob and John suddenly decide to leave the band, I'll never be able to leave here and ask Mindy to marry me. This band is all they have. Take Rob, for instance. He spends most of his days upstairs in sales, making money for a company that he despises. His only release is through his songwriting and getting on stage to rock the guitar and mic. I can't think of anything that would get him to give that up.
Alright, so you gotta talk to him.
This guy's fucking asleep.
Doing this, dude.
Everyone's on like those old rotary phones.
Oh, there you go.
Look at Rob. That's the dude right there. I heard that someone hacked into Globocorp's encrypted files and stole some seriously damning evidence. I really hope those files get released. Something like that might finally give me the courage to quit this job and get back to the resistance movement.
Why don't you just take our copy? We don't really need it.
This is a copy of the stolen data? Let me see that. Oh my, this is what the this is an outrage. That's it. I can't work here anymore. I need to do something about this injustice. I need to quit the band too. I'm not gonna have time to play gigs every night. I guess I'll have to call my therapist and tell her I won't be coming in this week. Hey, why don't you take my voucher in a free therapy session? One of the many perks of working here I won't miss. You look like you'd use it more than me anyway. You've got a therapy voucher. Good for one free session with an approved therapist.
All right.
So why don't you talk about how, if you don't mind, how you lost your hand? Well, you see, my dad cut it off because he was after a treasure. And I kind of let him do it. It was my fault. Rob said he wants to quit the band? That just leaves John then. I don't think it'd be easy to convince him to quit, though. The band and his trumpet are literally all he has. He's unemployed and spends his days sleeping on his brother's couch. John's brother is an executive here at Globocorp, and even he can't convince John to get a job. Ooh. A lot of political in-office stuff going on here. Rob, get out of here. You're done. Quit. Let's see, what's this? Samuel Mahoney, Chief Marketing Officer. This must be the guy.
Ever since I got promoted, all I do is work and sleep. My troubadour of a brother won't get his butt off my couch and get a job. I'm expected to have the budget worked out for the new widget by tonight. How am I ever expected to get a date like this? Alright, so talking to him's no good.
Let's go talk to...
Let's go talk to the brother again.
Be like, hey, here's a therapy. Go to therapy, you fuck. Get out of here. You're fucking done.
You need to talk about your life, too.
I can't wait to break this band up. Who's this kid?
It's the skateboarder, dude.
Did you run away from home, too?
We run away from nothing. We're adventurers.
Right. Me too. Aren't we all on our own adventure? Just wish mine sucked less. I thought about coming to Donicel City would be amazing, but to be honest, it's kind of dull here too. I guess it's better than home and school and therapy, and I do miss music class though. So I need to go down there and convince old Lazy Bones to fucking get off his ass. But I mean, that's a tough thing to do when you got a squatter. And they're just like, I want to play my music.
Just do my gigs, play my music.
I'll sleep wherever I can. It's like
the music is my life.
And nobody wants to break up the band because of him. Oh, we already talked about
thing.
this.
Nope. Okay. So it looks like you're probably gonna have to find him another place to play his trumpet. If I had to guess. And where do you go have therapy?
Oh, yeah, you know, let's go up there. She'd be like, oh, you know what I miss? The sounds of a trumpet. I doubt that's what she's gonna do. I miss just the sound of a tooting trumpet in my ear constantly. I highly doubt that, though. That's the pawn shop. I think it's in this building. Oh. Damn it.
Yeah.
There we go.
What
Yeah.
What was the one thing about Japan that surprised you the most?
How the people were always told to me how judgmental they are, and maybe they are in private, but it was like they were talking like these people were so judgmental in public. And I was like, no, I didn't see that at all. I was really like, I was warned about doing this and that, and this is rude and that is rude, and I just realized nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And the people who did give a fuck, we were never around them because who wants to be around a bunch of fucking sticks in the mud? And that's what I got, was like, everyone told me like you have to do it this way. If you don't like slurp your food, it's like rude. And I'm like, that just sounds rude anyway. How the fuck would you do that?
Well, it's not. I don't think it's not rude. It's not rude to slurp your food. It's just that if you do slurp your food, it's okay because
well, I don't.
It's like
I'm like, my grandma taught me not to do that shit,
Yeah.
and so I'm just gonna do the polite thing. Fuck that noise.
Yeah. Well, it's a sign that you really enjoy what you're eating.
I think my paying for it and just a nice smile on my face and my food is gone. If my
Yeah.
food is gone, enjoy it.
Yeah.
I didn't just eat it because it was there. It was eaten. It's all gone. There are crumbs left. Maybe. That's how you know I really liked it. You don't need me to go getting it fucking everywhere and everyone else's fucking food and being such a slob. No. I refuse. I think that's something somebody fucking said on the internet, and they're just like, yeah, no, this is totally the thing to do. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Well, I think you can slurp food without getting it everywhere.
I disagree. I highly disagree that shit. Dude, you can't even fart without getting poop particles everywhere.
I slurped my noodles, but it was just like I was slurping my noodles up.
You got it into my plate.
Did I really?
Mm-hmm.
Did I absolutely do
Yes,
that?
you did. I was just being polite,
I
but
don't
I was...
believe you.
No, I was. I was like, my cousin Julie and I just looked at each other like, all right, well, I was done anyway because I would already finished. But you were like, right into it. And I was like, I don't know what you were doing at first, and then I was like, oh, right, that's the thing. But then I was like, whatever. I mean, it's your trip, and I was like, that's cool. But I was like, I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm not gonna step in and do that at all.
I wasn't doing it to do it. I was just like, I want to. Like, I got a chopstick thing full of noodles. And well, that's the thing. It's like, what the fuck are you going to do if you have noodles? It's like you can't fucking swirl the fork.
Well, no, you put it in and then you pull the rest up one by one as you pull it in. I've been doing this that with chopsticks, because it was something that irritated my aunt. She was like, this is not a slurping house.
Nah.
You don't slurp the food here.
Such a goddamn chore. You just put it in your mouth and slurp it up, and
It wasn't that bad, man. I finished my food before you did, just so you know.
Okay.
I did eat all of mine fat, and I'm not even a guy who does chopsticks that well. You're really good with chopsticks, by the way. I always notice that, like, you handle it well. You fucking put it in the right position where I'm just like, it's fucking like noob fucking poking it.
The secret
holding it like a pen, like a fucking jackass or whatever I'm doing.
The secret is the bowl is your third utensil. That's the secret.
Oh, you know what it is? I was like, can I just eat? Can I eat with my bowl? I didn't think I was like, is that cool to do here?
No, absolutely.
Because the one thing that, like, even my cousin was saying, like, don't stick your chopsticks into the rice.
No, yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't normally, but okay, because I know what the reason why.
Yeah. Well, it's not don't stick your chopsticks into the rice. Don't stick your chopsticks together immediately up and down in the middle of whatever you're eating and leave it like that. Don't do that. But if you stick it to the side and they're pointed off, that's fine. But it's just like because funeral offerings.
Yeah.
And it's not even that. It's like the reason it's rude is because it invokes thoughts of funerals, and that's why it's like you don't stick it up like that, and then you don't pass things with chopsticks. So it's like if you're giving somebody something with chopsticks, you put it onto their plate.
Yeah.
But you don't pass chopsticks because that's part of a funeral practice too.
Or if you're just poor. But if you're in a restaurant where you have to pass chopsticks, I think you're in a bad place.
But it's just
because the shits are cheap.
it's just
I do like the when my cousin was like you're like, oh yeah, we don't shave off because that's considered rude, and she's just like fuck it. She's like, I don't like splinters.
Yeah.
I was like, fair enough.
Yeah, and if
I didn't do it because I was like, well, I'm not gonna fucking. She could explain in Japanese why she fucking did it.
No, yeah, and I get that. It's but it's funny because they're not supposed to splinter, but if they do splinter, they are cheap. But then you're just not supposed to be like, oh, they are cheap, and then. But
can't tell them to buy better chopsticks because the fucking prices for everything over there, like everything. Like I was like I'm on vacation mode, so the prices weren't like I'm not gonna eat this. But if I was at home, never would I ever in a million years pay the prices we paid for the food we ate. They were just really expensive, and I mean like. If anything was like less than $5 or $6, I was like that is good pricing.
All right.
For a meal, because you could do that here in America easily.
Yeah.
But
I was pretty happy when something was like around 1,500 yen, but a lot of time it was more like 20.
Yeah, but
not 50. Yeah, 1,500, 2,000.
$15 for food is like that's like
it's a lot.
That's a restaurant, and like we were on vacation, so eat with $15. That's normal.
But I mean that ramen was like $7 or something. Which, it was too much for that ramen.
Yeah, that ramen was. Well, somebody fucking put that went top ramen.
Yeah,
just
somebody
fucking
got top ramen.
Just poured that because we're in Japan. Everyone's talking about the ramen place. We didn't go to the ramen places, but I was starting to look them up, and I'm like, well, they all have lines because everybody knows.
Everybody knows these ones, so you just cannonball this.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh god, I knew this was happening. No.
Oh jeez.
I'm sorry.
Nice to see ya.
Oh, is that it? What do I do? What do I do?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I missed it.
He was just sticking his tongue out.
Ah! Boom.
Cool. What was I thinking of? Oh yeah, the bowl. You especially with rice, or just anything, you can pick the bowl up and shove it right in your mouth, and then you get those.
I feel like I didn't ramen correctly.
you can, like with rice, you get the bowl in your mouth and then you just shovel the rice into your mouth with the chopsticks.
Come on out. Come on. Give me that tongue. Boom.
There you go.
What a surprise little boss here. Well, actually, I played Treasure Adventure game, and I should remember these things. That was like back in forever ago.
Oh,
All right.
the music.
Oh.
It's less epic.
Oh. Hold on. Can I get music back, please? Come on. Oh, right in the just the tip.
Right the tip on the tip.
Just the tip. Ah, come on, music. Why'd you go away?
I was surprised at oh shit.
No.
Fucking, oh
No.
God, wow. I was expecting more people to interact with us, and nobody really did.
I was expecting no one to really interact with us. I think
Yeah.
part of that was like we're in a different country.
Well, I different country, but also like it's a city, and like everybody's doing their own thing. And I think it, like, I might have said it before, but I think
Have a ball.
a lot of the onus was on. Ooh. I think the onus was on me to, like, what I should have done is I should have initiated a lot of conversations with people, which I just didn't, because I was a candy ass. And
Well, I wouldn't say you're a candy ass, man.
Yeah.
I just think that you're going to try to initiate conversation with people who don't speak our language that well, if at all. If they know like a few words, you're lucky.
and it's not like it would. The other thing is, like, there are plenty of English-speaking people around too that we could have. And one of the things is
Yeah, fuck them. They weren't worth our
a
time.
lot of Australians.
Ugh.
They're-
Have you met Australians? God damn.
Tyler's not watching, so
Yeah, Tyler's not watching.
this bit's gonna fall on deaf ears.
Yeah, I know. They're probably going to think I'm an asshole now. No. They're going to be like, how dare you speak about it? Friend's Australian, and I talk shit to him. That's what we do.
Yeah. Well, he's upside down. What
Yeah.
is he gonna do?
His fucking sky harness is...
The sky harness is rusty. Just make sure you land of criminals and despots and
I didn't know they let you out that early, huh? Have one of these.
but
Pow.
there's actually I think I told you before. Oh man. I hope you just like taking a breather because you're pretty cool. I hope we didn't kill you. What was there was a subreddit for people traveling to Japan, and then they had a group chat on the social media line, and I subscribed to it like a couple of days before I left, and it was pretty active. So people would talk about, I'm going to fucking Golden Guy to get drinks and go bar hopping, and it's like, anybody want to come? And it's like people would go out and meet. And people would suggest things to each other, and they're like, I'm here for 3 nights or whatever. And you could go meet people who were also traveling, and a lot of people were from the UK, a lot of people from like San Francisco or California or whatever, but you could meet people.
No, that's gross. Other people?
Yeah.
Ugh. No, I get what you mean. That sounds like a really cool... Although we humans have always been interested in science, some of us choose to practice the magic of the animals instead. I was one of those humans.
It's because he doesn't have a tongue.
I'd like to point out that I do have a
the
tongue.
Greek catechism. No, you can see he has no tongue in there.
Oh, he has a tongue. It's just lower into his jaw. He's just breathing really heavily. So did the last of the world's magic. Thanks for ruining that. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. After everything we've been through, all I want to do is go home to my castle, but it's haunted.
You're haunting your own. You're haunting your own castle?
No, I mean really haunted by evil ghosts. Come, follow me inside and I'll show you. Oh, evil ghosts. What's an evil ghost? My home is crawling with scary ghosts. Either they go, or, well, I don't really have any else to go, so, you help me, right?
What can we do? We're not ghost hunters. More about the treasure hunting.
If you could brighten this place up, it should scare them away. I think I have a light source somewhere in the dungeon underneath the castle. Why don't you go down there and take a look? Bring a flame back up here and light these torches.
Sure. Send the living beings down to the dark, scary dungeon. Why not?
Thank you, citizen. I knew you'd help. I'll open the gate for you. Thank you. It's alright, I'll go down into the dark, scary dungeon. I'm not afraid.
I'm not scared.
These ghosts aren't that scary. I mean, look at it. It's just... It's
Are you not afraid of any...
No being scares me.
No supernatural or
You know why beings don't scare me like this? Because ghosts aren't real.
I thought you were going to say the act of removing them fills you with enjoyment.
No, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Ghosts aren't real. You know why they're not real? You know why?
Why aren't they real?
Because people are full of shit. Not because I'm saying, oh, people who said that they saw ghosts are full of shit. They are. But I mean people. People are full of shit. Why the fuck would they be ghosts? Think about that for a minute. Does that make sense?
Well, it's kind of interesting from a, like,
People are so full of shit.
Well, when you think about, like,
why would I be a ghost? I'm full of shit. All the time. Constantly. And yet somehow I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going to go haunt my basement now. Fuck that.
Well, it's this idea of, like, something after death or, like, an energy of a personhood, which I think is, whoa, Jesus,
all right.
Shit.
Cool. Thanks, dude.
Motherfucker, wow.
Although I do notice there's, like, some things up there.
Some coins.
Why don't you fucking chill out in there, huh?
Nope. It's like, no, I won't. You gotta get the fire.
I think in order for me to, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill this guy. Oops. No.
Kill him with fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use my fire. This guy's just like, hey, let me out of here.
Hey. Yeah, why'd you do that, King? Why'd you trap that dude in a...
Nice. No bones about it. Why is that a saying? No bones about it.
No bones about it.
Is that a saying? Did I just make up a saying?
No, I've heard that before.
But why? Why did we hear this before? What?
Maybe it's something about, like, boneless chicken.
Maybe it's maybe it's something like some guy in the 1800s is like
about this.
No
bones about this meat.
Ah! I messed that up. I'm just taking damage. Well, I am wearing the crown. Let's be honest here. Who's the fucking king of this castle? Not fucking Panda Ghost.
Can't be a king if you're a ghost.
Can't be a king if you're a panda. Or, no, that's a koala. You can't be a king if you're a koala. You can be very upset and angry constantly, which is basically the description of a koala. Like, they are tired of your shit of their shit. They're tired of everybody's shit.
Because it just smells so minty. That's all they eat is eucalyptus.
So I'm gonna take this bird. I'm gonna have him get my coins.
Ah.
Because he can fly. Apparently not fast enough.
Yeah, but that's the thing about that was the whole deal with what was it, pandas? I forget what. It's koalas too. They essentially eat nothing but eucalyptus, and it's poisonous, and it's terrible for, like, they have a hard time digesting it, and its nutritional value is shitty, and it makes them high.
Oh, that.
You can just hit like B.
Oh,
something.
select.
There you go. And so they're lethargic, and then they'll just, like, they're not good at taking care of each other, and it's kind of sad, where it's just like this. How are you surviving? How are you alive? How did you do this? Because
Yeah, no, they're just angry all the time.
yeah.
This one just looks sad and upset. All right, cool. I didn't want to talk to you. I just want to, like, light a fire.
I like the whole the drop bear mythology.
It is an interesting thing. I know that, like, they have to tell tourists something,
It's
because
just the fun.
Australia
it's
is
a fun
already
joke.
legendary for being a very dangerous place to be. It's like, their spiders are like this big, and their snakes will swallow you
What's
whole.
just funny is, like, the spiders are big, but they're not poisonous. But then you have the worms that are, and you're like 6-foot poisonous worms that are blue. Like, come on.
Ah, I gotta actually. This was like a waste of my time. Yeah, get the hell out of here.
And you get something.
You did it. The evil spirits have vanished. How are you once again, citizen? I have something that you might find very useful. Go down to the barracks and claim your reward. Side quest complete. Ghost busting.
Feel good.
I don't. I know ghost busting's supposed to make you feel good.
Well, busting makes you feel good. So you could be busting ghosts. Or you could be busting criminals, or
Or busting rhymes.
busting rhymes.
Yeah.
Busting dance moves.
Ah! So I gotta crawl, huh?
Why is your armory like this, King? Why is
Probably
your
because he has no
armory-
friends, because he's a fucking koala.
Why is your armory a goddamn obstacle course? Shouldn't this be accessible? You want it ready
It's
to go in
security, you
case
know?
they-
Keep out all the other people from stealing his shit. You know what this reminds me of? What's that game that's on mobile that's got all the spikes and stuff and you could die in one hit? It's like Temple something.
The
Not
Temple Run.
No, Temple Run is like a running game.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
So you have to get your all the spikes where you could die.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. I have
Is
it.
it like 1,001 spikes?
Yeah, it's like a big giant room's pixel graphics.
Spelunky?
I think so.
It's not. Well, I think it's like 1,001
No, it's not.
spikes or something.
No, because that's not the name.
Okay, but it's like 1,001 something. Because I know that's exactly. It's like a lot of spikes and it's very pixely, and you have.
It's
like, a
not the
big
same.
map and-
I would recognize the name if
Oh,
you said
okay.
it.
Is it like a popular? Is it like a?
It
popular
was.
one? It was popular.
Don't know. But hey, we got a new item.
You found a nav pearl.
Nav pearl.
The nav pearl contains coordinates to the location of a dive helmet.
Dive helmet.
And of course,
Nice.
the secret is always inside. some strawberries he's been storing away for
Sherry's berries.
Sherry's berries.
Sherry's berries.
Were you just listening to a podcast or something?
No, well, I saw it. I didn't listen to it. It was on trending. I was like, I could listen to that, but I saw Bill Murray, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, that's right, Bill Murray. Tell me about how much Garfield sucked.
Why did he voice Garfield?
So the funny thing about that was he was like, oh, an animated movie, it might be fun to try that, and then he saw that it was Joel Coen, and so he thought it was a Coen brother. It was like, they're pretty good directors, and it's like, but the thought didn't think it was like, oh, a Coen brother is directing an animated Garfield movie. And then it turns out, like, the guy had the same name, but it was an extra H, and
Lockpick?
it wasn't.
How convenient. Thank you.
It wasn't the Coen brother Joel Coen. It was just another Joel Coen who had directed like 2 movies, and so he came in, and he watched the cut of the movie, and it was awful. Like, it was just like what he said in the interview is like he said it's like, we got to find the guy who cut this, because we need to find him, and then we need to kill him so he can never do this again. And the guy who did it was in the booth, and he quit that day.
Damn.
Because it was just like, so there's that, and then
Ugh.
so
Timing.
so he had that, and it's like he worked like way more than what he thought he was getting into, because he was just going to do the voice of Garfield. Like, that was just what he was going to do. But the script was awful, so he had to help rewrite it, and then the cut of the movie was awful, so he had to help recut it. And so he did a lot of work trying to make this movie good. And it I don't know if like you've looked on Rotten Tomatoes, it probably doesn't have a great score, but it did really good at the box office. And then they did it again, and he decided, maybe it was part of the contract where he had to do Garfield 2, I don't know. But they did Garfield 2, and it was the same kind of a train wreck. Like, the person who directed it never directed a movie before. And it's like, Bill Murray was trying to cut this thing while, like, another editor was cutting it. And it was bad. It was just, they're doing a bad job. And,
I don't know what I'm getting out of here. Another nav pearl.
there you go.
You found the nav pearl. This nav pearl contains the coordinates to the location of a legendary treasure. There we go.
All right.
That was worth the trouble. No, it wasn't.
So,
Fuck you. Let me down.
So it was just telling the story of like this. He got into it by accident, and then he was already a part of it. So instead of just blowing it, he was like, "Okay, we'll make this work." And everybody else was just incompetent.
Oh.
And so he just didn't have a good time with it, because he wasn't working with decent people. Like, they weren't, and maybe it wasn't that they weren't decent, it's just that they were inexperienced. It's like, they might have been fine, but it's like they didn't know what they were way over their head with this, what they were doing. And
for some reason, I'm not really that surprised.
yeah, so it's just weird, and it's like, it's funny in a way, but it's also kind of sad, because it's like, man, if you had just like listened to Bill Murray, you'd have like 2 pretty good movies. But
There's a lot of ego
yeah,
in making movies. There's a lot of ego, even on a small scale. Just like, some people just cannot let go and let another person take, because they're like, oh, well, this person's coming in and taking care of a project I was a part of, and now I feel like I'm the one that's on my thing, and it's me, and it's my dead me.
well,
And it's
funny,
so
'cause
annoying. It's like, well, just, if somebody, like, if you don't listen to any feedback,
I know people. Like, I'd like to not believe that, because I think of myself, and I'd be like, if I was working on something with Bill Murray, I wouldn't be like, well, I know better than Bill Murray. Bill Murray, whatever, he's an actor. He can do what he wants and he can ad-lib, but he don't know me. And it's like, I didn't imagine that to anybody, but I fucking know people like that, and I know that's what they would think. They'd be like, I know better than Bill Murray. You don't. You fucking don't. The man's a genius in every conceivable way.
And you know what? I was going to say, like, it's not even just Bill Murray. We know people
Yeah.
in real life that are treated exactly like that.
Yeah.
Even if they're just, like, saying whatever, it's like, well, this person, doesn't matter how many times they've done the thing. I don't care. It's my thing, and I'm going to do it my way, and I don't want to listen to anything they say because they're going to taint my movie, and people are going to think they did it, and I have such a fucking world around my head. Dude, I'm speaking clearly from experience of dealing with people like this because they're so fucking annoying. You can't, they just can't get out of their own, like, world. They're just sort of like, this is...
Get your head out of your ass and listen to Bill Murray. He does a good job. Have you seen him in anything? He's funny. He's funny in just about everything. Even the bad movies, he's funny. So, like...
And I think a lot of people just assume, like, you know, why would anybody have these issues? But it's like, you have a lot of, like, really egotistical directors who just, like, they're directing.
Yeah.
Like, like, I'm doing what I've always wanted to do, direct a movie.
And it's funny because it's like, I was talking
Dude, anybody could direct a movie. Just go fuck yourself.
I was talking to my father about this yesterday.
Just being an asshole.
Just on, well, yeah. It was because I talked to my uncle briefly, and my uncle's kind of an oddball. He's done very well for himself, but he's had a interesting life, and my father has, like, as his younger brother, has a little bit of a resentment for the way he acts, and not that he doesn't respect him, it's just that he's a certain way, and we were talking about how sometimes to do a job you have to be that narcissistic. It's like sometimes to do what you need to believe in yourself to such a degree that you don't question yourself. And that's good if you're good enough. Like, if you really do know your shit and you have that quality, that can be good, because that inspires a lot of people and that gets a lot of shit done. You might not necessarily be right, but you can't afford to consider yourself wrong. You don't have that time. So you have to make decisions, and you have to do it, and you have to go ahead. And it's kind of annoying sometimes when it's like you're just being pig-headed, but that's a quality that I admire. And it's something that I used to be about, but and it's like my mom would say, it's like people would listen to me and they'd believe what I was saying because I just sounded sure of myself, when in reality I was pulling shit out of my ass. And I've gotten way better about that. And I think to a certain degree it was because I had a teacher who would prompt me to provide explanations for what I was saying, but I also had a lot of people that would call me out on my bullshit.
I just really hope I'm going the right way.
Well, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to hit the switch. I don't have a direct goal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Why didn't it do it the first time? I was fucking swiping left and right and all kinds of shit. Whatever. It did it now. That's all that matters.
You want to, like, call it here?
In a minute.
All right. You want to cauliflower it?
Yeah, in a sec. Let me, I want to check something out.
You want to...
But I was going to say, like...
Flour?
I think that is a quality that's necessary if you don't actually know how to lead people. I don't think you need an ego the size of a fucking mountain to lead people. It's not necessary. Narcissism isn't. You can be a humble leader. It's just most people say it's too hard, or they're just not capable of doing it. They just literally don't have. They've never been taught the way to do it. Because. Oh, there we go.
Oh, neat.
Fellow travelers, did you know this tree is considered by some animals to be the source of life? It's a quick story, I promise. After growing for 1,000 years, the oak produced its first fruit. The fruit fell to the ground and crawled tiny, humble worm. That worm was the first non-plant life form, and from it evolved all the other animals. Quite the story, huh? Next time I see you, I'll tell you another one. Good luck on your journey.
Now, I think you can... Maybe there's a ledge there?
No.
No, okay.
It was just to get over there to talk to him.
All right, cool.
And that was it.
All right.
I wanted to say hi to Jack.
Yeah.
Jack.
Jack the cat.
Yeah. But yeah, you don't actually have to be narcissistic or egotistical to be a good leader. It's not even a necessary quality for anything other than, I think if you're going to be like an actor or something, it's good to know that emotion, because there are a lot of people that are already like that.
Yeah.
But it's not something you have to do.
Well, and I think it's like there's also a combination of not being that but acting like it.
Like, if you know that you can do something,
Yeah.
you don't have to be like, well, I have been doing this for 10 years. A real person with wisdom and knowledge does not have to tell people how long they've been
Yeah.
doing something.
No,
You
no.
have nothing to prove to people who have no idea what the hell they're talking about. And that's a valuable lesson that I think all of us can learn, including myself. It's easy to preach the message, but to follow it's another story entirely. And I think it's time for us to head back over to the stream couch. All right. That was a fun little mission.
Talk to Jack the cat
Chuck-
like 3 times.
We
or
beat a
something.
boss. We got another treasure. We got a
had,
bunch
like,
of
2
new shit. We made a lot of
bosses, right?
progress. Yeah.
About 2, but wow, you did do a lot.
Yeah, I'm making progress slowly. So next stream will be Wednesday, and I can't make any promises on a video being ready by then, but I'm going to do my best to try to make sure that happens. I do have a full day of work tomorrow, and I also have to go to a meeting and a couple of other things, but it's going to be a full-on day for me, and Wednesday will be very similar. I'm actually going to be coming back from working an entire school all the way to when I start streaming. And then Thursday, kind of a similar thing. So these next few days, I'm just going to be working my ass off. But I'm going to try to take it easy while I'm there.
All right.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to having that dinner with you, Biddy, and we're looking forward to doing some more streaming. At least I am. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you. I don't know how you feel. But I have been feeling really good about these streams and the direction we go in, and I want to do more with it. So, how do you feel?
I feel good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you like the direction we're going in?
I like what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to do more?
I mean, I want to keep playing games, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So I was thinking more along the lines of like the stuff that we were doing with the tablet and everything,
The tablet?
the videos.
Oh.
Hey there, Mike.
Well,
You weren't there for that, but I want to do
There's-
more stuff.
there's a tablet, but it's like, okay, just what you're recording in Japanland.
I want to do more silly,
All
fun videos.
We'll have to do more things then
Yeah.
to do videos of.
And thank you again for all the great compliments. Yeah, you well deserve it, man.
Well, yeah, you're. Dude, Biddy, just don't keep being you.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Well, we'll
Bring a
see you
lot of
guys
happiness into this world.
on the next Courtesy Flush. Take care and have a good night.